Hi, I'm JT Snow, and like you, I recently went through driver's education so I could test for my driver's license. When you get your license, you'll be asked to make a big, potentially life-saving decision, whether you wish to register as an organ, tissue, and eye donor. So why is this such a big decision? Because it could save someone's life. And by saying yes, you'll join a like-minded community of registered donors in Wisconsin and throughout the country who have already said yes to saving and healing lives. Let's hear from a few of them.
My name is Grace, and I decided to register as an organ, tissue, and eye donor because I felt like it was very important that my organs, once I die, were being donated to a family or a person in need that could benefit from what I don't need anymore.
I'm Brian, and I registered as an organ donor because I think if you don't need your organs, someone else could need them. Well, what am I going to need the organs for when I'm dead? Just give them to someone who's alive and needs them, or they're going to die. Well, I think about what that would mean to my family. And I think they'd be very proud to know that I'm helping someone else out, saving their life.
Hi, my name is Bridget Doby, and I said yes to organ, tissue, and eye donation because saving a life is the best gift you can give someone. I mean, it's an awesome feeling to know that you're able to save someone's life. I'm not doing anything with my organs when I die, so have them.
Grace, Brian, and Bridget. Each one of them, each donor can save 8 lives through organ donation and improve the lives of 75 or more people through tissue and eye donation. Right now, about 114,000 people across the country and about 2,000 people here in Wisconsin are waiting for a life-saving transplant. That's why we need everyone to register as a donor. I can't begin to even imagine what it feels like to need a transplant. But Mikayla knows. When she was 17, she became very ill and desperately needed a liver transplant to survive.
I was a 17-year-old senior in high school, and I was active. I was never sick. I was in swim team, always hanging out with my friends. I was working as a CNA, and it was right after homecoming when I got the flu, and I blamed my mom for making bad tacos. But a few days later, I still was sick, so I went into the hospital, and the next morning, really early, they walked in and told me that I needed a liver transplant. And I had 4 days to get one, otherwise I wouldn't need one anymore. I instantly got sick. I was sick my whole life. It was something I was born with, but I didn't know that until we went to the hospital, and then they told me that I had 4 days to live. And then really early on the 4th day, I received my life-saving liver transplant. Since my transplant, I was able to graduate high school, finish my last dance recital, go to college, graduate college. I recently got engaged, and now I just like to spread the word about organ donation and let everyone know what it does. I remember going to the DMV when I was getting my license, and they asked me to be an organ donor, and I remember looking at my dad and saying, "Do I want to be an organ donor?" He's like, "Well, you don't need them, so why wouldn't you?" So I was signed up to be an organ donor, but at that time I didn't realize what the meaning was behind it. And now I know that you're literally signing up to be a hero. You could save someone's life. You never know if you're gonna need an organ transplant or if you're gonna able to be a donor. You never know what tomorrow brings.
Hearing Mikayla's story, it's easy to see what a powerful impact one donor can make. But it's also important to remember your decision to register as a donor could also help your family during a really sad and difficult time. When you register, you're making your wishes known so your family isn't left to guess what you wanted. Take Kelly's story, for example. Her mom, Mary, explains.
When I took Kelly to the DMV when she was 16, she was going to get her driver's license, and the question of organ donation came up. It was not something I expected at that time. And I looked at her and I said, "Well, what do you think, Kel?" And in her very simplistic way, she said, "Well, of course, Mom, why wouldn't I?" And as a parent, it was one of my proudest moments that my 16-year-old daughter was willing to give unconditionally to whomever needed an organ or tissue. Kelly was involved in a motor vehicle accident, and we had 6 precious days with her, but then eventually Kelly died. And we were approached about organ donation, And I will tell you, it was the best thing that could have happened from the fact that we knew her decision. We did not have to make that decision for her. She had made it for us. And I've always felt that's been as much a gift to us as those whose lives she saved. She gave us the gift of the decision. Kelly was able to save 3 lives of 3 strangers. And shortly after that, we were asked to go to the legislature and share what this meant to Kelly's family. And so we did. And as a result of the work of many people, including a nursing student who came up with this idea, the Kelly Knockreiner bill was signed into law by Governor Tommy Thompson. And what that does is it requires all driver's education programs in the state of Wisconsin to give at least 30 minutes of organ and tissue education, which is why we are here today. I love talking to teenagers. Kelly was a teenager when she died, and I loved having teenagers in my house. And one thing I like to share with them is, in many ways, Kelly was an ordinary girl who gave an extraordinary gift. And many times in our lives, we don't know the impact of one kind decision. And just think about that one kind decision that Kelly made very simply that day at the DMV, and how that has saved other people's lives. And because of the legislation, it has impacted hundreds of thousands of people throughout the United States.
Mikayla and Kelly are powerful examples of the impact of saying yes. Any one of us could suffer an injury or illness that requires a transplant, making the need for registered donors greater than ever before. Transplants can help save or improve the lives of people with high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, burns, eye disorders, and other illnesses and injuries. In fact, I was surprised to learn we are more likely to need a transplant than be a donor. Even NFL quarterback Aaron Rodgers received a transplant. He had his ACL, one of his ligaments, replaced with donor tissue before he joined the Packers. He's not alone. Many athletes from high school to the pros have gone on to lead active lives with donated tissue. Donated tissue can even help women recover from breast cancer. It's used in breast reconstruction surgery. And for people suffering from eye disorders, a cornea donation can restore their sight. There are so many ways we as organ tissue and eye donors can save and heal lives. Knowing this made my decision to say yes an even easier one. But you might still have some questions. Let me share a few truths with you. 1. In Wisconsin, any one of us aged 15 and a half or older can register as a donor regardless of age, race, or medical history. 2. The first priority of medical professionals is to save lives. Your donation status does not affect your care. 3. Donation does not become an option until death has been declared. 4. Donors and their families are treated with the utmost care, respect, and dignity throughout the donation process. 5. All major religions in the U.S. support donation and view it as a final act of love and generosity. 6. There is no financial cost to the donor or their family for donation. Now here's something else I learned. Very few people, only about 2%, die in a way that allows for organ donation. That's why it's so important all of us who want to be donors register our decision. Be a hero and join the nearly 3 million Wisconsinites who have said, yes, I want to be an organ, tissue, and eye donor. There are 2 easy ways to register as a donor. When you go to the DMV, you can check the organ donor box on your driver's license form. An orange dot will be added to your driver's license to indicate you're a registered donor. Or, if you want to register right now, you can go to donatelifewisconsin.org. The online form is easy to fill out. It only takes a few minutes, but you will need to have a driver's license or state ID to register online. Whether you register at the DMV or online, please be sure to share your decision with your parents or legal guardian. Want to learn more? Just visit donatelifewisconsin.org. Here you'll find more information on donation, including videos, fact sheets, infographics, and more. I hope this video helped you better understand the impact your decision to say yes can have, and that you'll join me and the millions of other people who have said yes to being an organ, tissue, and eye donor. Help us save and heal lives.